WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So last episode, we managed to find a humongous tree, and what I did was, between episodes, I went out and found it and decided to go, hey, that's nice, and let's get some of your wood. So I got a lot of wood, and I am currently throwing a bunch of it into the powered furnace and getting as much charcoal as I can from it. Obviously, we're going to have quite a bit of charcoal and hopefully get this redstone energy cell to a lovable level. That is probably going to take a bit of time, but whatever. So we have magma crucibles, obviously, and I made some redstone energy conduits by taking some redstone and moltening it down so that I'd be able to make these. Took some electrum and etc. But overall, I think that's a good place for them to be. I'm gonna move them later, but let's move onward. So I managed to make the cart. And if we look over here, this is our cart. It has a standard hull, coal engine, woodcutter, fertilizer, side chest, and a top chest, which is going to, well, come in handy eventually. We're going to have to figure out how best to manage everything. But one of the things that we are going to need, which is a little unfortunate, is to get some of our game on. What I'm going to want to do is just temporarily disable this configuration so nothing can go there. So let's put some pulverized lead so we get some actual lead from there. So we want to get a bit of sand. So I'm just gonna quickly pulverize some sand, and we will need to get a bit more of that, and we will need a bit of clay. So I probably should explain myself. So we are going to need to make a lot of rails to get everything going at a good amount. So we need tracks. Tracks, unfortunately, require some standard rails and a wooden rail bed, which is going to require some creosote oil and some slabs to get everything going at a good pace. Now, to get that creosote oil, we are going to need a coke oven. There is no way to go around that, and that is going to take a bit of time to get everything going. So that is something we will need to wait for. So once again, if I can stop saying so for one moment, please, we are going to need to go out into the wilderness to get some clay. Now, there is a process using factorization that creates clay from ores, but it is a bit of a long process just to get some free clay, so I don't think it is really worth it at this stage of the game. That being said, it might be worth it at a later stage. Now, let's see. The coke oven is a multi-block structure, if you can look here. It requires 26 blocks in total, which is quite extravagant. So that's going to require a lot of bricks, and for some reason, we can make some sandy bricks instead, which if we make sandy bricks, it's actually the same amount. Well, sandy bricks, it looks like, that is quite interesting. Now, I'm trying to think. Sandy bricks might be a decorative block that you can place in between coke ovens. Because they are multi-block structure, you cannot have multiple sandy block thingy-mabobbers, if that is a word. Get out of my way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Blah, 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 blah. So you can't actually have multiple coke ovens right next to each other. That is just bad form indeed. Bad form, and is just not possible. So we need about 2 stacks of clay for this to work. So there's the cannibalized tree, and what I did manage to make was some sort of sickle. One of the red power sickles. I don't know the actual name for it, but it might actually be sickle. Let's see. Sickle! Be sick, my sickle. Yes, it was a sickle. So I made a sickle, and the usefulness of it is that A, it can cut leaves a lot faster, but B, the most useful thing is that kind of like the destruction catalyst of equivalent exchange of old, it has the ability to just decimate a panel. So it completely, well, not a panel of leaves, but a 3 by 3 by 3 area of leaves. And I think that's actually enough of that to go. Now, I was looking around this area while I was doing all of that and was thinking that this could be a very good base. Now, that is a good thing I heard that guy, because otherwise I wouldn't have had fun time. Fun time needs to be had to be able to do anything like that. So let's cook this stuff up. It's going to take a bit of time, so we should start now. And then let's get crafty. Okay, so this thing is a 3 by 3 structure, so we are going to need it in a nice little dandy area. Now, what I'm thinking is it's probably best to have it in, if we have the rolling machine there, okay, let's get the rolling machine since our sand is still getting blasted, and it might be a good opportunity to get everything in a nice orderly fashion, which frankly hardly ever happens. Ooh, we are really low on redstone right now. I hope none of the other things that we need. Let's see, the cargo manager is something I cannot live without, which is going to require a lot of iron panes, which are a pain, and this is going to... Oh, we need more redstone. That is a bit of a problem. Okay, so... I think, if I remember correctly, one of my other chests had some redstone in it. I can probably go and get that. One of the chests that I hid some of the stuff over there. If not, I'm going to just need to pop down quickly, get just a slight bit of redstone, then I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna assume that this is enough redstone. It should be enough, but it's going to have to be an assumption and risk I'm going to have to make. So let us make a few pistons. We need 4 in total. Thankfully only 4. And then if we put it in an arrangement which most definitely will be wrong, wow, it's not wrong, we can place our rolling machine and finally get that stuff rolling. So this will accept energy, 500 Minecraft joules, but it has a constant drain, so it sometimes loses energy. Now, I think it was 1500 before. I might be wrong on that, though I honestly do not know nor care right now. Okay, so how many are we going to need? Let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 26, 54, 58. So we need a stack of those. That means we need a stack of those wooden panelings, which is going to be fortuitous because we might have just enough stuff for that to happen. So let's get a bit of this, and this will create the necessary amount here. Here we go. That's a stack. And we are going to need to get the iron stuff. Iron panes is a bit of a pain. So this will require 8-bit of iron in total. There we go. That I think is all we need. And actually that is all we need. So let's key C, 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 C. And we're going to need to get 1, 2, 3, 4. Put these around, put that there, and get one of these. That's all we need, thankfully. And then once we get these together, we will need 9 of these. So let's, 4 of those. If we made 9 of those, that would be a bit of a problem. Let's see. You can probably combine these a bit better. 1, 2, and there, and there, and there maybe. Or just do that. 1, 2. Okay, so once we have all of those in conjuncture with these, once again, probably the wrong order, but at this point, I don't know. Yes, it is in the wrong order. For some odd diabolical reason, we got the cargo manager. About bloody time, and we still have these random locks. We're going to need another set of chests, so let's make another chest. I think a singular chest should do for now. We can get ourselves we can get ourselves sorted later onwards. Let's put all of our just some more miscellaneous stuff. I don't know. I don't care. Okay, so we should have at this point enough brickwork, and probably not enough brickwork, but let's get our sandbags totally going and then put in the recipe at least for our good amount of labor of love. Yay. And actually, now that I think of it, we might not have enough of that. Let's get that. And that is enough of that. There we go. And we got currently 20, but we're going to need 26. Let's go and make another set of cobblestone another set of sand, since we do have time and money and efforts galore. And this stuff is still got a good amount of steam, and you know, this is the best time to build up ahead of steam because, hey, I have a bit of an overhead. So, one of the things about the rolling machine that I really like is the fact that it's able to pull from a neighboring chest. So if you have a recipe that you need lots of, it'll just be able to pull from the chest and get the desired amount. So we need to get 6 of this, thankfully. I think 6 of those will be enough, and then we can get our standard rails. So 8 of them should, or rather will be enough for everything that we need, and also a bit of brickwork will be all that we need, and that should be enough. So let's wait for the remainder of our bricks, then we can get our multi-block structure ready. If I didn't know any better, which I probably don't, might as well put that mild disclaimer there, I would have sworn that it took less before, but hey, what do I know? I'm just an old fogey, aren't I? Old fogey. Probably older than a few people that are watching this, but frankly, who isn't? Okay, so I'm 20, by the way. Okay, let's clear out a nice little space for this and put our coke oven blocks down, and we need to make this as a good enough structure so that we can get our creosote production going. Okay, so once we get this and place this, it is finally a multi-block structure that we can be proud of. So we need to put coal into here, and after a long burning process, we get coal coke, which we then use with some wood, thankfully, since we have enough of that, into other good, strong character blah blah blah. I cannot speak, okay? I do not have a silver tongue, or else I would be a devil. Okay, so let's get a bit more wood, because we need the planks to be a requisite amount. That will be good, and that is all we need. And we will need some buckets, or we can get some fancy glassware of all the stuff. So let's get some of the stuff that we know we don't need, and this stuff, I think we might as well throw it into our nice handy dandy little schmanzy area here, because this will be stuff we need for the future. We overcrafted by 8, didn't we? Oh well. And also slight bit of glass. Now I think having it flush to the wall like that is a good idea, so we can keep it like so. And we got a bit of charcoal left over, so we can throw it. We can't throw it into the relay right now. However, I don't think there's much use in doing so at this present time, seeing as we do need to get... You know what? Let's just do a bit of a time skip until we have... Actually, that's a lot of creosote oil that we are going to need to wait for if we were to do a time skip. So let's see, what can we do in the meantime? Seems like it's almost day. I think we should do just a mild bit of exploring. That should be a bit helpful. It's almost daytime, so let's quickly make a waypoint here. And this will be for our base. Overworld base. Yay! And I think having it that nice green color will be good. And now that we have it there, we'll be able to come back to this base anytime, anywhere, any place. Yay! Okay, so one of the things I want to do is find some sort of stable supply of cows, and we don't want to go too far, or else this place won't be loaded in chunks. So thinking just the general vicinities, such as this snow area, will be good. Maybe we can kill some pigs, chicken, etc. while we're out. Though maybe that's just a little too mean. Ha! Take that, chicken! And you too, chicken! Okay, so now that we know that we are slightly crazy, we can move onwards. So this must be the real forested area that we are in. And did I? Yes, I did. Another Thaumcraft totem. Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that not every single Aura node is designated with a Thaumcraft totem, and that is a bit of skullduggery over there. So let's see. This totem once again indicates another Thaumcraft node, and I do not want to see you. I do not want to see you. Okay, maybe I do want to see you. Stupid junk loading. And that is a lava ocean. Okay, so maybe this place is obviously a bit nigh and void and etc. Doesn't seem like there's an easy way into the system over there, so let's go back. Now, I'm still kind of curious as to what caused those overgrown trees to occur, because obviously they are a forestry addition, and I'm wondering if that's how big a 2 by 2 oak is. I'm wondering how big a 3 by 3 is, because that is an option. The biggest option that forestry adds for tree breeding is a 3 by 3. So if we were to... Oh gosh, incoming 9 by 9 direwolf trees. Anyways, if we were to make one of those, the yield might be nice. Now, I really have to look into the tree breeding mechanic, but what I do know is that they do require bees to pollinate the trees so that you can get some sort of good amount from them. Now, that will take a bit of investment, seeing as tree breeding is, well, you could consider it an exact science, maybe not the science that a lot of people would like. However, it's something that will be useful. Now, let's find a high ledge and try to discuss some future base designs that we're going to want to fulfill. Now, we're going to need to go into our Mistcraft researching to be able to get into that, but I'll explain that later. So, I'm thinking that this forested hill biome, I'm in a green hills, which is not as rocky, but anyways, this forested hills biomes over here is something that I'd really love to have as the overworld base. I must say the last overworld base I had wasn't really much of a basing, as I went complete NEI and Mistcraft to get a flat age, and like episode 10 and onwards I pretty much stayed in that little area, but that sand shack was not exactly my proudest achievement. Anyways, I'm hoping to have this area nice hollowed out complex. Then we need some sort of elevator or probably a highest point in this area, and then work on a different type of Mistcraft age. Now what I'm hoping for, I don't want to go into all of the details, but what would you think of a Skylands or Void, I'm not too sure, and have a huge complex completely hovering in the sky? Now there are obviously some idiotic dangers that I'd have to make sure not to kill myself with, such as, you know, the general falling out into the void and etc. Hopefully a jetpack will solve that, but I'm thinking some building ideas will be useful. Now I need probably a turtle program or a red power program. Let's just say I want to make some sort of perfect sphere, which is going to take a bit of work, and obviously it's going to take a lot. So, I'm gonna go wait for a bit, wait for all of this to be finished, and then I'll be back once we get the 4 creosote that we need. Okay, so after a bit of waiting, we managed to get our creosote oil. So let's make our too expensive of wooden ties, make our wooden rail bed, and with this we'll make our standard rails for 32 tracks of utter destruction, chaos, and etc. Now we need to get an advanced rail so that we can control everything. That requires one more bit of redstone, which frankly I think I can muster at this point. And also some of this and some of this. A bit expensive of a track, honestly, but eh. And one bit of redstone. And if I keep on saying and, I'm gonna get people annoyed. But let's go onwards because frankly, who has time for that? Okay, so let's see. We got some bone meal, and I think bone meal will be awesome in this circumstance. So let's go out. I have no idea what that button was, but okay. Let's turn off our waypoints and get rid of some of the rubber trees because we need probably a flat area for this to be done. And we got some other rubber trees that we can go for. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but hopefully one of the things that I'm hoping that won't happen is forest fires. So let's try to make sure that that doesn't happen and make just a simple circuit to get everything going. Now, this doesn't seem like it's in a nice... Oh, finally you updated. Jerky of a track. Okay, so a small area would be sufficient since I only have a limited number of tracks, and it will be preferable to have it all meet in the middle. So let's see. Ah, you jerk. You jerk. Okay, so I guess we'll have to go with that. Can I do anything with that? No? Okay, so cargo manager here. Thinking this will be good. And this will be a bit interesting. Okay, let's see how difficult this is going to be to manage. So, change part of the cart. Currently all slots. And this, we're going to have to see how it works. So let's put our modular cart down here. That is a big abomination of awesomeness. Oh, that is awesome. Okay, so it's out of fuel. And here is our fertilizer, which we'll put in. See if bone meal works. Obviously it does. And we got a lot of fertilizer from that. I don't know how much, but oh well. And we got the cargo manager there. And unfortunately, it seems like nighttime is coming. So I'm going to go kill a few sheep, get a bed, because frankly, it will be helpful. And then meet you in the morning. Okay, so we're probably going to need a bit of an initial fuel amount, so let's grab most of our charcoal, and we got enough charcoal in those. That's still chugging along, don't want to look at it right now. But we got a bunch of monsters, which will be a little unhelpful, so let's kill them quickly before they try to eat our flesh, which would kind of be unhelpful in conquering the world. So, let's see. I'm thinking that just having a quick little workbench while I'm here would be a good idea, and it doesn't seem like anything is close enough to be a bit of a hindrance. So let's throw one bit in here and see what happens. Obviously, nothing is happening right now. And you are waiting for awesomeness to occur, which is obviously, evidently not happening. Okay, so let's push you. Push. You're not out of... Can you go? I don't care what's happening, but... Okay, so we're going to need to go deconstruct this track because it's not being too helpful. And put it like so. And get you out of the way once again. Please don't kill me. Like that. So that it can go. This takes so long. There we go. And got the track down. So what we are going to need to do is put saplings in here. Not there. Woodcutter here. There we go. So it's planting them. And it's going to only have so many places that it can put them. And let's just watch this for a bit. See what type of discrepancies occur. there, and it's checking if there's anything. Obviously there's not, and now it's going to go back and see what it needs to do. Obviously it's not fertilizing it. Maybe there's some other reason for that. Continue along after transfer. Okay, now you were up and placed, and now you're actually cutting it down pretty quickly, I might add. That's not bad. So the fertilizer, what I'm thinking it actually does is it fertilizes the ground, makes it more likely for the random ticks to occur on it. Now, Cargo Manager obviously didn't do anything too good, so we're probably going to need to have it do something else. Okay, all slots are shared. Each side has its own slot. Each color has its own slot. Okay, all slots are shared. So we need to maybe make some sort of chest, and you are out of fuel. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put 4 in, see what happens, and we are getting stuff. So it's now going outwards and planting some more saplings. So eventually how is it going to handle this? I want to see that. Okay, it's cutting it, and it's going pretty quickly and gathering all of the apples and saplings, it seems. You got the side chest. Nothing's going into the top chest. I don't think anything really needs to go into the top chest as of yet, but I'm guessing it's pretty quickly in its design. So let's see what happens when we get some form of chest right next to the Cargo Manager, if anything actually occurs. So let's see. Change part of the cart. Let's see. This, I want to see what these do. Obviously that won't be helpful. Let's see. We need to get all the saplings, or rather we need to get the wood and the saplings out of this. And now it took all of that, so it's going to work slowly on the wood, and which is what we need. So I'm trying to learn through example what exactly this thing does. I'm not too sure on how useful it will be in the future if it can't even go and gather the stuff here. Change part of the cart. Obviously that... Okay, we might need to do a bit of research on this, because just looking through example is probably not what we need to do. Okay, now it's cut that, it placed that, and we need to wait for it to go over there. So it should be relatively quick in that part. You know, I kind of like watching this go. Okay, now it's plants it, and now Cargo Manager... Maybe if I place it like that, it will take the stuff from the cart. And that should be what it needs to do. Now, what we could do is put this thing over there instead. And that might work. Let's see, take that and that. If we take this and put the cart manager over at the other area, it might be a bit better. So let's take that instead, and put this stuff here and this stuff here. Put the advanced detector place, put the cart manager. We need to take stuff out of here, but we need to put saplings and fuel into the red side. That helps. Okay, so we can do multiple objectives with this. So we need to put fuel in when it is available, but that's not going to be helpful right now. Let's just see what it does. Maybe we can have some sort of... Okay, we got enough saplings, that's for sure. And it's now taking stuff out of here. And it seems like it's taking it out of all things, though. So we need to put fuel in. Whoop! I am getting a little sidetracked, apparently. I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, let me think a bit, see what I can do with this. Hopefully an epiphany with how this works occurs to me. Doesn't seem like there's a filter necessarily for this. So let's just try putting a bunch of fuel in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with that. And then have it go along. Obviously, it likes going backwards because, hey, it's cool like that. And see what happens. Now, let's see. It should only... let's see. Put stuff... No, we want it to go in to the cart. And we only want the charcoal to go into the cart. And take everything else out. So if we put stuff like that, it should only go into there, and eventually it should be fine. Now, all the other stuff, like the excess fuel, should be fine. Now let's throw all of this stuff. Actually, let's throw this wood here into here to see how well this actually goes. Hopefully it will have enough fuel and not get, well, sidetracked. And let's see what usage it goes. So obviously taking stuff out of the cart is not a good idea, but now it seems like it's putting it into the correct slot. So we're going to keep the saplings into here. Eventually it'll get to a high enough point to be worthwhile. The red is not at the red side, but that is easily enough done. So okay, so now how do we pull stuff out of here? Pulling stuff out might be a bit easier. So what we should try to do is get some sort of filter or something to pull stuff out of it. We need a filter, so that might... We don't have enough gold for a filter, so that is not going to happen. We still need a piston, whatever design choice we do decide to go with. So let's make a piston quickly. And having wood might be a very good idea to have. Okay, obviously we want to play it not so safe, so let's go with a piston. And yeah, let's just go with a redstone engine, since that is probably the best idea to go for. So a bit more wood. We're going to need to engine this up. And there we go, that should be enough. For the gears, we have a top. And we need to actually make the gears for once, so let's make those. There we go. Top of the morning there, bye. And how many wooden gears did I need to make? Not that many, so we are a little screwed in the head. Okay, so glass, 1 bit of glass. And this pretty much is just to test whether it actually works. So we got there. And let's go to bed. And now that it's morning and not raining, we should have a bit better of a time. So if we throw this down, it should be good. We have how much in our cargo manager? That much, which is pretty awesome. So maybe if we have this here instead, we'll be able to pull this stuff out. And unfortunately, we don't have any levers. We don't have any cobblestone. Blasted, blasted, blasted. Blast furnace, please. No? Okay, you can do that then. Okay, so 1 bit of cobblestone will make sure that I don't make too many levers. And then we will be able to see. So once we determine the method of being able to extract items from here, okay, we do have apples that can fling everywhere. That's good. That is very good. So now we'll be able to get a lot more apples from the tree, so to speak. And eventually, if we get this at fast enough... Hey, can you stop going everywhere? That is going to be helpful not to go there. So let's get an intermediate chest. We will need to pull items out of here, or what we could do... Let's get that there. What we could conceivably do instead is have this directly... No, it can't go directly because then apples will get a little too baked for their own good, and that won't be too helpful. So this is good. This is probably all that we need. And with all that charcoal, so eventually we're going to need to get some charcoal to get automatically sent there as well. And eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to get this to such a level where it's going to be set and forget. We don't need to provide any more input, but this should be all that we need. I'm pretty happy about this. I don't know about you guys. Our fertilizer is probably not going to really need too much of a bump or any automation for that, so we don't need to worry about fertilizer. As long as we keep this stocked, we could even have this a manual farm just by throwing this stuff in. So, I think that's good. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. The tree seems to be happy to see me. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day. Next thing I know, there's gonna be creepers.